In this class we are going to talk about the refrigerant R-417A and its work pressures. The main application of the refrigerant R-417A is in air conditioning systems, chiller type, and heat pumps. In air conditioning applications, it is usually worked with a temperature of 6 degrees Celsius at exit of the evaporator to need a pressure of 57.64 psi. Then, for air conditioning applications, 6 degrees Celsius in the evaporator, we need 57.64 psi. However, the refrigerant R-417A can be used in refrigeration applications at medium temperature. For an evaporator temperature of 0 degrees Celsius, a pressure of 3.05 bar is needed in the low evaporator, equivalent to 44.29 psi. For a refrigeration application of -6 degrees Celsius in the evaporator, a low pressure of bar is required, equivalent to 32.89 psi. For a temperature of -10 degrees Celsius, a pressure of 1.81 bar is needed in the evaporator to 26.29 psi. For temperatures below -10 degrees Celsius, the performance of the refrigerant R-417A drops. Therefore, this refrigerant is usually used specifically for air conditioning applications when temperatures greater than 0 degrees Celsius. However, as the R-417A is a substitute for the R-22 in some applications where the R-22 was present, R-22 was replaced by the R-417A to be able to achieve that the equipment work for a few more years. Can be found in applications of medium refrigeration. That is why we talk about temperatures of 0, -6, and -10. When we want to know the high pressure, for an ambient temperature of 30 degrees Celsius, the pressure is usually close to 40, about 10 degrees Celsius above 40 degrees Celsius. The pressure of the pressure gauge, in this case high, will mark about 12.48 bar or its equivalent. 181 psi. When the equipment is off, there is no low or high pressure, everything will depend on the external. If we make the comparison for an environment of 30 degrees Celsius, we will have in both pressure a pressure of 9.31 bar, equivalent to 135 psi. The R-417A refrigerant is a refrigerant made with the mixture of three gases: R-125 at 46.6%, R-134A at 50%, and R-600 at 3.4%. The main advantage of the R-417A refrigerant, according to its components, is that it allows to work systems with any type of oil. It can work with mineral oil, alkyl benzene, or POE oil. This is notably important when replacing the R-22 because it does not require oil change or a deep of the system. Simply by changing the refrigerant, we can add the R-417A, always doing it in liquid phase, because are going to have three types of gases, therefore we are going to have sliding. It is usually worked with the steam pressure of the table, that is, as the temperature of the changes with respect to the input by the vaporization, then it is usually worked with the steam at the output. It is a temperature change that the gas suffers before overheating. So there are two options: work with the liquid pressure or with the steam pressure. It is usually worked with the steam pressure, estimating that the temperature that we are seeing in table is going to be achieved at the output of the evaporator and not in the intermediate part. The global heating potential of the R-417A is 2,346. Perhaps it is its main enemy because it already begins to have environmental restrictions in those areas where the GWP has to be less than 1,500. Another notable advantage of the R-417A is that it has a low discharge temperature compared to the, which is very good for the compressor. See you then in the next class of this course on refrigerants.